Prince, meet me at the foyer at 10 p.m. Love, Cinderella.
Good morning, Inspector Atika and Dr. Fatma. Today, we will open our royal case, file number 139. At 14 February, our prince was found dead at the garden of Royal Palace. So, Inspector Atika, can you present us the evidence that you have found at the crime scene?
Based on evidence found on the crime scene, we found love letter in the prince's pocket written by Cinderella. Shoes also has been found, and also we collect prince's clothes for further investigation. Due to this evidence, Cinderella has become the first suspect in this case, after we found Cinderella's name as a sender in the love letter. Therefore, all these evidence are sent to the lab for further investigation.
So, Dr. Fatma, how about the laboratory investigation and the result?
So, depending on the post-mortem, we found the spores in the lungs and the stomach of the prince. And these spores is identified as the Bacillus intrusis. Then we proceed to the evidence. We found that the anthrax powder in the letter, which this powder is the same one that found in the prince's body. We can say that the prince died due to the anthrax powder.
So, who would you suggest to be the one who used anthrax as the weapon? Is it Cinderella?
Unfortunately, the shoes is the match with the Cinderella shoes, but the fingerprint on the letter do not match with the Cinderella. So we can exclude the Cinderella to be the suspect.
Okay, because there are some unmatched samples collected from the crime scene to Cinderella, we also collect DNA sample from all family members of Cinderella, such as her stepmother, which is Lady Teresa, and also her stepsister, which is Bella. All the samples collected are then sent to the lab for further investigation. So we can say that there are several potential suspects in this case.
So, what your next finding?
So up to the fingerprint on the letter that obtained, and after we run the database for this fingerprint, we investigate this fingerprint belong to the Cinderella subsister. And also we run the database for the hair that found it in the prince's cloth. So we found that the hair belonged to the Cinderella subsister, which is the Bella.
Okay, after all the investigation that we have done, all the inspection that we did in the crime scene, I think we can conclude that the suspect or the criminal of this murder is the Bella or the stepsister of Cinderella, and she used anthrax as the weapon to kill the prince, right?
Yes.
So we can conclude Bella is the criminal.
Yes.
Cinderella, I have something to tell you. Will you marry me? Oh, yes.
Cinderella, meet me at Secret Garden at 10 p.m. Love, Prince.
Good morning and thanks for coming. Today we will have a press conference regarding the case file number 139. For your information, at 14 February, Prince Michael was found dead at the garden of Royal Palace. Based on our investigation and lab investigation, we have arrested Bella as the criminal or murderer of the prince. She had been arrested today at her office and will be sentenced by court for further investigation. So I open the question from the floors. Do you have any questions?
Dato, I'm Siti from Britarian. So my first question is, I believe that your team had applied the DNA fingerprinting in order to find the criminal. So can you please explain to us about the method regarding the DNA fingerprinting?
Oh, okay. You asked about the method used in the DNA identification. So generally we have several methods used in DNA identification, but I will share some. First, we have restriction fragment length polymorphism or RFLP. It is used to analyze the repeating base pair pattern of DNA. This pattern will be different individual as different individual have different length. So that's how we match the DNA that we get from the suspect or criminal or any evidence that we get from the crime scene. And second, we have polymerase chain reaction or PCR. It is the process of copy DNA that use a heat stable DNA polymerase to copy a specific gene. So PCR is applied when need large sample but traces evidence is small. So the evidence will be amplified by PCR. This means that PCR will be advantageous when our evidence is little or small. And next, we have also short tandem repeat or STR. STR consists of little sequence of base pair and it repeated multiple times. And what difference from individual, because each individual different from other when the number of time the little sequence is repeated is also different. It also used for maternity and paternity testing. And the advantage of STR or short tandem repeat, it requires minute amount of DNA. So we can use STR when our evidence is little.
So in Malaysia, which one is the common method?
In Malaysia, the common method used in the forensic lab or in the PDRM, we commonly use short tandem repeat as the most advantageous method to identify DNA.
Okay, Dato, I'm Parvin from the Star. So my question is, in Malaysia, is there any law enforcement to keep the DNA profile of a person who has been arrested of certain crimes?
Yes, in Malaysia, we have a law enforcement that allows the database to contain DNA profiles of the suspects and criminals. According to the law of Malaysia Act 699, Deoxyribonucleic acid DNA Identification Act 2009 is an act to provide for the establishment of a forensic DNA databank Malaysia, the taking DNA sample, forensic DNA analysis, the taking of the use of DNA samples and information in relation and for matters connected to the forensic analysis.
So, Dato, maybe this is the last question.
Yes.
So, can you please share with us maybe there is advantages or challenges of having a DNA database in Malaysia?
Okay, of course we have challenge in DNA identification, especially in crime scene, and especially in the DNA data bank. As the challenge involve many ethical and legal problems arise in the preparation of a DNA database, and these problems are especially important when one analyses the legal regulations on the subject. And some of the challenges that we have to overcome is DNA is susceptible to human error, and some information can be stored infinitely, and the information also can be hacked, and the information is not 100% accurate. And lastly, DNA database financially viable, as some critics point out that holding a person's DNA profile on record is in a sense of violation of the person's DNA ownership or privacy. So that's all. Anything do you want to ask?
I think no for today.
Okay. So we end our press conference now. Thank you.